Hey, welcome back to Walking the Dogs, the weekly podcast where we'll unpack how to architect GTM, onboarding, and customer experience across marketing and customer success to drive growth in small to mid-sized SaaS orgs using my growth framework. It's Lisa here, out with Dusty and Tanner, and today we are talking about the butterfly effect in go-to-market. And no, I don't mean the inspirational poster version. I mean the real B2B version. This is part of the G-gauge stage in the growth framework. The one where a small change in lead routing, sales follow-up, opportunity qualification, onboarding, or even expansion timing quietly compounds into millions of dollars in ARR. That's the part most companies miss. They think fixing go-to-market has to mean a massive transformation. New strategy, new agency, new tech stack, new dashboards, new headcounts, new operating expenses, and sometimes big change is needed. But a lot of the time, the money is hiding in small corrections made early enough to matter. That's exactly what happens when Dusty and Tanner and I walk. If Dusty starts pulling towards something in the bushes and I ignore it, that little pull becomes the whole walk. Tanner gets interested, the leash is crossed, somebody spots a squirrel. Now we are no longer walking, we are negotiating. But if I make the small correction early, the whole walk changes. That is go-to-marketing. A slow inbound follow-up does not look catastrophic in isolation. A fuzzy opportunity definition does not look catastrophic in isolation. A messy sales to customer success handoff does not look catastrophic in isolation. And the same with a missing expansion trigger. But together, those small leaks change the whole revenue route. And this is why the first stage in my growth framework is gauge. Gauge is where we stop pretending the board deck is the operating system. It is where we get honest about what is actually happening. How fast are leads being followed up? When does a rep create an opportunity? What percentage of pipeline is real? Where does the sales cycle actually slow down? Where are customers losing momentum after the sale? Where is expansion being left to intuition instead of process? Because here's the hard truth. You cannot prove the ROI of fixing go-to-market when the go-to-market system is too broken to measure. If the data is messy, the process is inconsistent, and every team defines the funnel differently, the ROI becomes math theater. You're no longer measuring the business, you're measuring a mess. So first you gauge it, then you walk the dog, then you fix the leaks that compound into ARR. And when I say walk the dog, I mean something very specific. Additional ARR is the revenue you can reasonably reclaim or create by cleaning up the system. The company was already spending money on sales and marketing, but revenue was leaking through bad process, slow handoffs, weak follow-up, messy pipeline churn, also missed expansion. So the question is not, can we justify fixing go-to-market ops? The better question is, how much revenue are we already losing because the system is tangled? This is where Dusty and Tanner remind me of go-to-market every week. When their leashes get tangled, the answer is not to walk faster. That only makes the knot tighter. The answer is to stop, untangle the leash, reset the direction, and keep them moving. That is what go-to-market ops does. It untangles the operating system before the company tries to scale it. Because if lead routing is tangled, follow-up slows down. If pipeline definitions are tangled, close rates become friction. If sales and customer success handoffs are also tangled, retention is harder. Expansion ownership gets tangled, the growth gets left to chance. So the ROI does not come from the spreadsheet. The ROI comes from untangling the system so the same sales and marketing spend can move cleaner, faster, and with less drag. Here's where the butterfly effect shows up in the calculator. It moves the close rate from 15% to 16%. That sounds tiny. Improve retention from 85% to 86%. Again, tiny. Shorten the sales cycle 90 days to 75 days. That's not magic. That's cleaner handoffs, better qualification, and less deal drag. Improve expansion close rate from 15% to 16%. Still not heroic, but together those small changes compound into millions in additional ARR. In the expected case, the model shows about 3.7 million in additional ARR. After a 1 million go-to-market ops investment, that is about 2.7 million in net return. And the cost of waiting? About 311,000 a month. That does not mean 311,000 literally walks out of the bank account each month. It means the company is delaying the operational improvements that could create or protect that level of annualized ARR. That is the real butterfly effect of go-to-marketing. The danger is not that one lead was routed late. The danger is that late routing becomes normal. The danger is not that one opportunity was created too early. The danger is that everyone defines pipeline differently. And again, the danger is not that one customer had a weak onboarding experience. The danger is that the churn was created in month one and nobody saw it until renewal time. Small go-to-market leaks rarely look expensive one at a time. A slow lead handoff, a fuzzy opportunity stage, a delayed follow-up, a weak onboarding milestone, a missed expansion signal, but across hundreds of leads, dozens of deals, and an entire customer base, those small leaks compound. That is why I like the ROI calculator as a conversation tool, not because it predicts the future perfectly. It doesn't. It's not magic revenue forecast. It's a decision model. It asks a practical question. If we are already spending this much on sales and marketing, what happens when the system works better? What happens when leads are routed faster? What happens when sales follows one qualification process? What happens when customer success has clear onboarding milestones? What happens when expansion is triggered by signals instead of hope? What happens when the same spend produces more revenue because the operating system is cleaner? That is ARR lift from go-to-market improvements, not more chaos, not more campaigns layered on top of a broken engine, not more dashboards that nobody trusts, just small targeted fixes that compound. So what dog do you need to walk today? Is it lead routing, pipeline definitions, sales cycle drag, onboarding, expansion? Pick one. Gauge it. Put it on the leash. Walk it around the block. Untangle what is slowing it down. Bring it home with owners, metrics, and next steps. Because in go-to-marketing, a little tug on the leash at the right moment can save the whole block. And a little operational correction at the right point in the revenue system can save the quarter. That's it for today. All right, let's go, Dusty and Tanner.